When the plan to transform Lagos was put into effect, the transportation sector was quick to reflect it. Today, you can't imagine Lagos without the Bus Rapid Transit BRT. Same way you can't imagine London without double-deck buses.
Very soon, the Lagos Rail Mass Transit will start to run, and Lagos will further achieve world-class inner-city travel. But the best thing is that the Bus Rapid Transit and the Lagos Rail Mass Transit are a tip of the iceberg, a small part of a large vision.
A vision called the Strategic Transport Master Plan, a long-term process to transform Lagos through the transportation system, making it neck and neck with the world's greatest nations.
So today on the show, we'll be evaluating how LAMATA's projects and other infrastructure are aligning with the Strategic Transport Master Plan, STMP. I am Obafemi Craig.
I am Kate Harmony. First, we take the news update.
Welcome to the news update on LAMATA FR. The Managing Director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola, has directed that modality for employing women as bus drivers, bus assistants and mechanics should be worked out for the new bus rapid transit system from Mile 12 to Ikorodu. He gave the instruction during a recent site visit to the nearly completed construction site, where he stated that women will bring a fresh breath of air into bus operations because, in his words, women pay more attention to details. Dr. Moberele affirmed that given the right incentives, women would do better than men in bringing professionalism to bear in bus operations.
So let's think of possibilities of where we can have a reasonable amount of women trained as drivers, trained as
bus conductors, or
bus conductors, assistants, even mechanics. You know, women pay attention to details
yes,
more than men, and they always like to make sure that they do things well. So if we can have a lot of women doing most of these things, it will go a long way.
11 years after the creation of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, the authority is working to bring to reality the vision behind its creation. LAMATA was formally launched on 2nd December 2003 to be the foremost facilitator of a sustainable and effective integrated transport system. Within the last 11 years, LAMATA has successfully concluded the first phase of the Lagos Urban Transport Project, LUTP1, and is currently implementing the second phase of the project. Under the first phase, LAMATA successfully implemented the Bus Rapid Transit BRT system from Mile 12 to CMS, the bus franchise scheme, BFS, in the Alimosho area, rehabilitated and repaired more than 600 kilometers of roads, commenced the feasibility studies for the State Strategic Transport Master Plan, among others. To date, LAMATA, through its public transport infrastructure projects intervention, has reduced travel time along the BRT corridor from 90 minutes to 55 minutes, succeeded in reducing household expenditure on public transport from 17% to 13%, strengthened procurement arrangements by reducing per unit cost of roadworks by over 50%, and created about 1 million person-day labor. In line with its vision of bequeathing a multimodal integrated public transportation system for Lagos, a strategic transport master plan has been developed and being implemented to address the current and future public transportation challenges up to the year 2032. According to LAMATA, the future of public transportation in Lagos looks promising and interesting. That ends the news update.
Basically, what LAMATA does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
LAMATA, think transport.
You're welcome back to the program. As you all know, LAMATA has several projects in progress.
And we are currently in the completion stage of most of them. The rehabilitation of Wemco Road, the Bus Rapid Transit BRT extension project from Mile 12 to Ikorodu, rehabilitation of several roads in Victoria Island and other parts of the state.
Not forgetting the rail projects. The question is, how do these individual projects connect to make transportation and travel in Lagos faster, cheaper, safer, and convenient for you?
The Strategic Transport Master Plan, it's a long-term plan that gave birth to some of the transportation changes you have been enjoying in Lagos. It's indeed a plan that will fully deliver to Lagos a multimodal integrated transport system that will ensure efficient, effective, safe, comfortable, and seamless travel in Lagos when fully implemented. Let's join Dr. Fred Oladende, Technical Advisor Planning LAMATA, as he enlightens us on the vision to make Lagos a world-class metropolis.
The plan, which is called the Strategic Transport Master Plan, aims to take Lagos beyond its current challenges. The plan puts together infrastructure and services to cater for the high demand in transportation that we're envisaging over the next 2 decades. The plan covers the whole of Lagos State, and it covers some bit of Ogun State, areas such as Ifo, Ota, Shagamu, and Owode. And the reason being that there are a lot of people that live in those areas that commute to Lagos and then commute back. So they add to the congestion in Lagos State. The plan recommends about 7 rail lines. It recommends 10 BRTs, 2 monorails, as well as 11 water routes, which together would deal with the high demand in transportation that we're experiencing in Lagos and what we're going to experience over the next 2 decades.
And in terms of planning, it's talking about, we're looking at the coordination, the articulation of transportation within the perspective of moving people en masse, as against, of course, car ownership and private ridership.
Just to buttress what he has said, you know, moving people from one point to another point using different modes. And the essence of our public transport is to move as many people as possible. But like the situation that we have here, we have little buses moving some few number of people, and they will call them mass transit. I used to see those funny inscriptions written on 14-seater buses. So in public transportation, we have different modes, moving people on charging particular fares and on fixed routes. You know, it has to be articulated, it has to be planned, it has to be integrated with public transport.
So, talking about national development, Dr. Oladende, what is your take on national development?
Okay, development actually means improving the welfare of the society through political, economic, and social conditions. Now, this impacts on people's human and physical capacity. Okay, what do I mean by human capacity? Human capacity in terms of the level of education, the level of income. Physical capacity or capital in terms of the infrastructure that a country or a state owns. We can look at telecommunications, we can look at public utilities, transportation is also a good example. Now, because of the intense use of infrastructure by the transport sector, transportation is seen as a very important component of the economy. And in fact, transportation is used to drive development in states, in countries, in communities. This is very important because when you look at the global world, transportation is important because every economic opportunity is linked to mobility of people, is linked to goods and information. So, in a nutshell, transportation drives development. The government needs to have a blueprint, needs to have a plan. Okay. And the difference between what we do in the developing countries and what happens in the developed world is that you have the urban planner. These are people that plan your cities, and transport planners work together. Now, the reason why they don't need cars that much in the UK is because every community is within about 800 meters to a kilometer from a public transport station. So if we can have that in Nigeria, I mean, you look at some communities, they're cut off from the transport system.
Yes.
And so they have no option other than to use cars. So if we can plan with urban developers in such a way that every community is connected to the network, then we won't be talking about what we're talking today. Okay. So it's planning, we need to plan.
Okay.
The government needs to put in place policies that would discourage people from using cars. Policies such as maybe charging people that use their cars on the road, so you pay maybe road tax, you pay environmental tax, etc. But everything should be geared towards making sure that we have a good public transport system as an alternative.
What about the provision of the infrastructure?
The provision of the infrastructure, I don't believe that the government should provide all the infrastructure, but the government needs to be sure, that it has a plan in place for the infrastructure that's required. I think we need to invite the private sector to participate more in providing infrastructure for Lagos State or Nigeria as a whole.
Dr. Oladeyinde, so how do we ensure continuity?
Well, as I said previously, it's very important that you have a master plan, a plan that the government signs up to, a plan that is ratified by law. And then when the next government comes, then he continues from that. It's very difficult for a government to come in, especially, when a plan has been ratified and then we've started building, constructing from that plan to just, truncate it and then start something else. Once we have a plan in place, everybody knows where they're going. Every stakeholder has bought into that plan, then it's very difficult to just truncate that plan.
Are you saying that other projects that have been dumped, so to speak, didn't have a master plan?
To my knowledge, you see, when you carry out a project, you need to understand what that project is contributing to the society, how that project links to other projects or how it links to other society, and what the benefit it brings to the benefit it brings to the people. But when you have a project in isolation, you don't understand its impact, you don't know what the benefit would be. It's very easy to kill it.
We have heard the observations of Dr. Frederick Oladeyinde, Technical Advisor Planning, LAMATA. We'll also hear from Olutayo Orekoya, Director, Corporate and Investment Planning, LAMATA, as he shed more light on some of LAMATA's successful projects and how they align with the Strategic Transport Master Plan, STMP.
The LUTP, which is the Lagos Urban Transport Project, is designed to ameliorate public transport problems across the metropolis. And so we had the phase one of the project, which was called LUTP-1, and that had 4 project components, which included capacity building and institutional development, road network improvement, water transport promotion. We had the preparation of future phases. All these were in phase 1. which we concluded December 31st of 2010. Now, the phase 2 of LUTP is what we're on at the moment, and it has 4 project components, which is similar because it is a continuation of LUTP 1. Again, when you look at the multiplicity of issues of public transport in the Lagos metropolis, you come to realize, like the World Bank did and the Lagos state government, that these are issues that cannot be resolved within a short period of 5 years or even 10 years. And so we are currently running the LUTP2. It has 4 components, which includes institutional development and capacity building. We have improvement of public transport infrastructure and enhancement of traffic management systems. The third one actually is improvement of the road network of the state metropolitan area, as well as project management and systems monitoring.
Okay, but then we know that you must have made a success of the LUTP1. Could you please recount the successes of the LUTP1 and how far you've gone with the LUTP2?
Thank you. Yes, for us, we can say that LUTP1 was a success, and of course, that was why the World Bank was willing to proceed to LUTP2. Not only that, the World Bank actually has made LUTP as a flagship project in sub-Saharan Africa, and today, LAMATA and LUTP has become like a model which is being exported to other countries within the continent of Africa and outside of Africa. Not only that, for LUTP2, the French Development Agency, AFD, actually decided, because of the success, to partner with the World Bank. And also we received a grant from the Global Environmental Facility, to implement the phase 2. These were based on the success achieved under LUTP1. Now, talking about achievements, I like to say that we measure our achievements particularly based on outcomes. And I like to look at the project components. Talking about LUTP1, the capacity building initiative. Under this, we were able to achieve the full establishment of the new and fledgling organization called LAMATA, with all manuals in place, engagement of professionals who are in various positions in the authority. Beyond that, we were able to enhance the capacity of transport-related agencies. We also were able to, under the road network efficiency component, develop about 27.5 kilometers of roads that were rehabilitated. Over 57 junctions were improved, apart from the roads that we also had periodic maintenance carried out. We also were able, through the feasibility study put together under the project for the BRT project, to put together the Lagos Bus Rapid Transit project, the first of its kind also in Sub-Saharan Africa. We also put together the bus franchise scheme, which is currently running. Beyond that, we were able to prepare for the future phases. And this is apart from, the jetties that we put together, 4 of them before we water transportation was ceded to LASWA. We improved the water jetties in Yafin, Ekpeme, Jego Egba, etc. Under the preparation for future phases, we were able to put together a strategic transport master plan for the state that takes public transportation development to the year 2020. Indeed, under phase 2 now, we are expanding and extending that to year 2030. Now, also under LUTP1, we were able to put together the feasibility study and also start the Lagos Rail Mass Transit project. which now has the blue line and the red line that we are currently working on.
This is LAMATA Half Hour. If you're just joining us, don't worry about missing much because we always have something for you. So stay tuned.
Gbogbo la mọ̀ pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àti iléeṣẹ́ LAMATA ní àwọn ètò ńlá kalẹ̀ tí ó máa mú kí ìlú Èkó di ọ̀tun. Ètò èyí tí àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní Strategic Transport Master Plan STMP. Kókó ètò yìí ni láti fún àwọn ará Èkó ní ètò ọkọ̀ tí ó dára kí ètò ọkọ̀ ojú irin wa, ètò ọkọ̀ ojú ọ̀nà wa àti gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe wọ̀nyí lè di ìrọ̀rùn fún wa ní ọjọ́ ọ̀la.
Una know say Lagos State Government and LAMATA get ogbonge plan wey go make Lagos State turn to wetin oyibo people dey call mega city. This plan they call am Strategic Transport Master Plan STMP, and the koko of this plan na to give people of Lagos State better public transport. And Lagos State Government and LAMATA don already dey follow this plan dey work so that tomorrow our railway, our BRT, our roads and other correct things wey suppose dey for road go make sense.
The topics we treat and issues we address have to do with the feedback we receive from you. So reach us with your questions, comments, and suggestions on any of the following.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Remember, the Lagos State government through LAMATA is working to make transportation a delight for you in Lagos State. And this can only work with your cooperation.
Bill Clinton said the same thing this way. Our differences matter, but it is our humanity that unites us. We achieve more when we work together. So keep teaming up with us to make Lagos keep moving.
See you same time, same channel, next week. LAMATA.
Think Transport.
Lagos, my home. With LAMATA, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail